While watching JK Lee's Dark Souls 1 randomizer stream, and hearing about his lovely encounter with Artorias and Ornstein, it got me wanting to try my own randomizer run, which brought me to the question, can you beat Dark Souls randomized with double the enemies? With that said, let's get into the rules for this run. Rule number 1, Randomizer Mod to randomize all the enemies. Rule number 2, Double Trouble Mod to double all the enemies. Rule number 3, Item Randomizer Mod, because I hate myself. Number 4, Greedy Souls. This is where when I pick something up, I have to use it no matter what it is. And lastly, beat every boss in the game. With all that said, let's get this bizarre adventure started. I start by naming my character Bango, and it definitely wasn't because I misspelled banjo. Anywho, for my class, I went with the naked guy wearing a boar helmet holding a reinforced club, because everyone loves that crispy bacon. For the gifts, they surprisingly were not randomized, so I went with the Master Key. With all that done, it's time to head to Lordran. After waking up in my cell, I find a Black Knight guarding my cell. Being very confused and not noticing the series of unfortunate events to come, I open the cell and jiggy my way past the knight. After escaping my cell, I come across the warden waiting to ambush me behind the door to notice a little birdie waiting for me at the top. While running away, I came across another Black Knight in the exact location that he would be if this was my second time visiting the asylum. It was at this moment that I realized that the Double Trouble mod and the enemy randomizer were not playing so nicely. So instead of dealing with double the enemies in this area, I had to deal with triple to quadruple the enemies, and just you wait, it gets so much worse later on. After getting my Estus from Oscar, I attempt to make my way into the boss room, to just get smacked by said birdie from earlier. I finally made it past the horde of enemies to finally take on the Asylum Demon and the Bell Gargoyle. The first round didn't go so well, to say the least. Funny thing is, even after dying, the Bell Gargoyle was still trying to kill me at the bonfire. After this, I hit a small roadblock, and by small, I mean being killed for about an hour by a horde of enemies just trying to get to the boss room. But during my torture, I finally got a lucky drop, the Crystal Straight Sword, which does a lot more damage than the Reinforced Club. The only downside is that it has a low durability, so it made getting to the boss room a bit more tricky. But with luck on my side, I made it in and killed the Asylum Demon. Oh yeah, did I forget to mention that the hollows that spawn here during the second visit are also here, which led to me panicking and causing me to die. After relentless deaths and hard-headedness, I finally made it back to slay the Asylum Demon in one fell swoop and quickly DPS the Bell Gargoyle before the little dicks could show up. Then the little dicks showed up and DPS'd me down. Once back alive, a new problem occurred. The Asylum Demon was back. Come to find out, the copies from the Double Trouble mod come back to life after dying or resting at a bonfire, and the worst part is, even if you kill them, they don't give you any souls. After discovering a new bug and spending over an hour to escape the tutorial area, I finally made it to Firelink Shrine. From here, I would scavenge to find new items, level up, and head to Undead Burg. Here, I visit the Undead Merchant to buy some souls and a new hat so that I can fast roll. At Firelink Shrine, I leveled up some more and found the Great Axe, which puts me back at medium roll, unfortunately. After getting my new weapon and a new wardrobe, I came across another issue, these red enemies. Come to find out, these guys show up when the world is infected by a Gravelord player. This is another bug due to the mixing of the mods. Why this sucks is not only does this add extra enemies that I have to deal with, but these red enemies hit just as hard or harder than bosses in the game. Here's a video of a red mushroom punching the shit out of some bosses. After exploring and finding new items, I finally made it to the bonfire to hit my next roadblock, making it to the tower. It was then suggested by chat that I use the bridge skip. The only downside to this was fighting gravity, and it won a lot. But I finally pulled it off, to just die to gravity a few seconds later. I stayed persistent and finally made it to the tower. We will just ignore the amount of time it took me to get there. From here, I take the shortcut to Undead Parish and unlock the shortcut to Firelink Shrine. From here, I explore around a bit and discover that my game will crash due to too many enemies in one area. After discovering that lovely new bug, I decided to check out the Northern Undead Asylum for shits and giggles, and come to find out Super Smo was paying the stray demon a visit. I also realized at this moment that the copies will also be the original enemies or bosses, which can be a good thing and a bad thing as you can see right now. After realizing the mistake I made by doing this run, I decided I was ready to see what the Taurus Demon had to offer, and to my lovely surprise, it's the Taurus Demon and the Four Kings. Lucky for me at this time, I had the Gravelord Sword and some beefy armor. It made dealing with the Taurus Demon super easy, but unfortunately not the Four Kings so much. On the bright side, it was only one king instead of four. Overall, dealing with one king isn't too hard when he isn't spamming his AoE attack. I just simply used the ledge for a plunging attack and tried my best to stay behind him walking away. And with that, I was easily able to beat the Taurus Demon and the singular king. After that easier victory, I collected some new items and felt ready for the next boss. And oh how wrong I was. The Bell Gargoyle copy was waiting for me right outside the door, so I decided to take him out before seeing who the boss is. But before triggering the boss, I found a wild Calamite in the sky. Hopefully he stays there. Anyways, I decided to trigger the cutscene, and oh dear god, it's Seath, but it's hard to take him seriously in this cutscene. I will say though, having to fight a boss that takes up the entire area is not so fun. Oh hi, Artorias. Artorias? So yeah, the Bell fight is two gargoyles, Seath and Artorias. So I said fuck that and went to see what the Moonlight Butterfly had to offer. Come to find out, it's a golden gargoyle, who had no issues yeeting himself off a ledge. Which you would think would be an easy win, but sadly there's no death box near this area, so the gargoyle doesn't die. So I will have to restart the fight. But I was confused as to why Moonlight wasn't showing up. She was chilling on the tower but would not move. I tried shooting with some arrows, but they all went through her. So I gave up on that and retried the fight again. For the damn gargoyle just to throw itself off the ledge again. But finally, on the third go, I got him to stay on the bridge. It got a bit spicy near the end with him using his lightning breath, but lucky for me, I decided to be greedy and just go in swinging to earn my third victory. This was also the fight that I found out that you only need to beat the randomizer boss for the victory to count. But at this point in time, I was still wanting to try and beat both bosses. After dealing with the self-yeeting gargoyle on a bridge, I decided to retake on the gargoyles, Seath and Artorias, which was a mistake. So I ran away from my problems like all grown adults do and went to check out the Capra Demon fight.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Aw, man. You know what? Let's just go see if the Sif fight isn't any better. Will you look at that? Sif can just hit me through the door. How lovely. So from here, I decided to just fight Sif because I needed a breather at this point. Sif, as usual, wasn't too bad. I just hid underneath her, poking away until I eventually won. Oh dear god, this is disturbing, and weirdly funny. Apparently the game was also disturbed by its creation that it broke. Literally, the Fire Sage wouldn't move. This is another bug that happens from time to time where some bosses or even groups of enemies don't move. To be honest, I don't think these two mods are supposed to work together, but I somehow got them to work, and it's some freaky Frankenstein game now. But with that said, I easily poked the Fire Sage to death for an easy win. After realizing the monster I created, I decided to check on Stray Demon and Super Smo again. It was a quick visit, like Ceaseless Discharge kind of quick. After that premature failure, I once again found myself upon the rooftop with Seath. Yeah, it was another quickie, but hey, my doctor says it's normal for some guys to prematurely fail. Don't act like y'all never do it too. I decided to try once more, and actually got Seath to halfway to now verify that Artorias is indeed the other boss, who has full HP. Lovely. We already know I didn't last long after that. Trying to satisfy one boss is hard enough. So I decided to pay Quelaag a visit. Oh dear lord, it's the Centipede Demon. What are the odds of me getting a boss that's good at close range, Quelaag, and a boss that is good at long range, Centipede Demon? I don't know the number, but I'm pretty sure it's low. So at this point, it became very obvious the game isn't working properly or playing fairly, since this wouldn't happen in a normal Double Trouble mod or randomized run. So I too decided it was time to play dirty. If they were going to hit me through the wall, I was going to do the same to them. And I did exactly that to Quelaag. It just took me a minute before she finally died. Once she was out of the way, the Centipede Demon didn't put up much of a fight and easily went down. Am I proud of this? No. Am I happy I'll never have to do it again? Yes. With that done, I ring the bell, which means I only need one more bell to ring, and we already know who's guarding it. Lucky for me, by the time I made it back to Seath and Artorias, I had found the Giant's Halberd. What's nice about this weapon is that it does lightning damage, which Seath is weak to. And on top of that, I was even able to get it to +5 for max damage, which made fighting Seath super easy until Artorias showed up, then easy goes out the window. I did have a slight strategy to this of just circling Seath in hopes to put distance between me and Artorias, which did work, but wasn't foolproof. At this point, I didn't know what to do besides keep trying until I got lucky and killed Seath so I could take on Artorias 1v1. So I did exactly that, and after 23 tries, I was finally able to kill Seath to take on Artorias. I have fought Artorias many times, but never with a medium roll. So I did have a few close calls when trying to get the timing down, but lucky for me, all my hours fighting him paid off. I was finally able to get the timing down and take advantage of his openings, and after an intense 5 minutes and 30 seconds of fighting, Artorias goes down. With Seath and Artorias defeated, I rang the final bell, and with that, it's time for me to visit Sin's Funhouse. Sin's Funhouse wasn't so fun. Not only dealing with the mass number of enemies is hard to deal with, but I really do suck at dodging these damn traps. Even with that setback and me slowly losing my mind, I finally made it to atop the fortress to the bonfire. From here, I visit the crestfallen merchant, who has some super nice armor, but I decided to save it for later, and I'm so glad I did. With that done, I decided to check out the Iron Golem, and his boss is... oh, fuck, it's the Centipede Demon again. You know what? Yeet me, Golem. After being yeeted to my senses, I went back into the boss room and dispatched the Iron Golem. Lucky for me, the Centipede Demon was stuck on something. So I got the bright idea to shoot him to death with a crossbow, which was taking a while, so I said fuck it, and paid the price. So I went back in, dispatched the Iron Golem again, and then proceeded to follow in the great footsteps of a legend.
Ready, guys?
Let's do this.
Oh my god, he just ran in.
And you know what? Mr. Jenkins was right. It's always best to just run in head first. After being indoctrinated into the Jenkinites, I made my way to Anorlando. Once in Anorlando, I found out that one of the damn golden gargoyles was replaced with Super Smo. Honestly, my luck stat must be like -99, because I keep getting mid to in-game bosses. After making my way past Smo and some rafters, I find Calamite. Yep, definitely -99 luck. Calamite was simply a dick. He would constantly spam his fire breath, which made it virtually impossible to get past him. So I went to visit Gwendolyn instead, and Smo ended up hearing I was visiting a child and followed me down. So to protect Gwendolyn, I took care of Super Smo. I wasn't quite ready yet to fight Gwendolyn, so I decided to be brave and try to juke Calamite, and was surprisingly able to pull it off and get inside the castle, where something much worse was waiting for me. So out of pure morbid curiosity, I decided to see what the Ornstein and Smo fight was going to be, and this is where curiosity killed the cat comes in. Now, before I freak out, let's see what we are dealing with. We have a Super Smo, an Ornstein, a Super Ornstein, a Smo, another Super Smo, and a Gwen. I will now proceed to panic. It's the super versions with the normal versions! What? Okay, hold on. No! It's even worse! It's Gwen! Fuck! Lord help! Why are there so many? It's an army! It's an army! After dying, I realized I'm ready to try and fight Gwendolyn. Oh, you gotta be fucking with me. Of course it would be motherfucking Artorias. But, lucky enough, Gwendolyn was just standing there broken, so I only had to fight Artorias. Which normally wouldn't be a problem, but I currently have a slow weapon and a fat roll, which make things a bit harder. After countless deaths, I decided to go see if I could find some equipment less heavy, and I was lucky enough to find the Painting Guardian robe. So I went back to Artorias and died again. I'm not used to using slow weapons, so I had a bit of a learning curve figuring them out. But with each death, I grew stronger, and I was able to defeat Artorias with pure hard-headedness. After slaying Artorias for the second time, I got lucky and got the Black Knight Great Axe. I knew in this moment I needed to take advantage of having this amazing weapon while I had it, so I rushed over to the Capra Demon and Sanctuary Guardian fight. Along the way, I nabbed a dragon headstone and a dashing new outfit. After becoming the most good-looking fellow in all of Lordran, my game crashes from me trying the fireball cheese. Realizing that wasn't going to work, I tried to rush in and shortly afterwards realized that wasn't going to work either. So the strategy became kill the Capra Demon from outside and beeline it to the back and hide in one of the holes. Funny enough, most of the Guardian's attacks miss while being here, but not the humanity thing, unfortunately. Unfortunately, this was the only strategy that me and chat could come up with at the time, so I just kept trying it until I eventually won. It pays off to be hard-headed sometimes. After bashing my head in, I found the Dragon King Great Axe. What's really cool about this weapon is its R2 attack. It's like a giant shockwave attack that can hit multiple enemies, which got me excited to try this out on some bosses, and the bosses I chose for this was the Stray Demon and Super Smo. And I 100% made the right call because I was able to beat them on my first try of using the Dragon King Great Axe. So at this point in time in the run, I was still missing some key items like the Peculiar Doll, the Depths Key, the Orange Shard Ring, and more importantly, missing the Large Ember and Very Large Ember. Only having a +5 weapon does not help with taking on double to sextuple the bosses. So I went on an adventure all the way down to Ash Lake, and oh boy, it was a waste of time, because I didn't find shit. After that failed expedition, I figured it was time to take on the Hydra and Centipede Demon. Surprisingly, it went well. Mostly because the Centipede Demon was stuck again. From here, I decided to rescue Griggs because I got the Resident Key back at the Hydra area, which worked out great because he sold Fire Tempest, the strongest pyromancy flame in the game, and the Black Knight Greatsword, one of the best greatswords in the game. So I decided to try them out on Ceaseless Discharge, who had Fire Sage over paying a visit. But I made sure to take out Ceaseless first, then take on the Fire Sage. Due to the area, it made fighting the Fire Sage a bit trickier to deal with, so I had a few close calls, but I was able to pull it off in the end. With Tweedledee and Tweedledum dealt with, I figured it was finally time to take on the Sinister Six. Just give me a minute, I just need a second to regret my life choices. After building up the courage to go in, I spent about 30 seconds running away until I obviously died. From here, they repeatedly bullied me outside to the point of killing me before I could even get in. So I said, fuck it, I'm cheesing this shit. I was also lucky enough to get a great bow, so I went buy some arrows and went to town on these suckers. It took me a minute, 15 minutes to be exact, but I was able to take out 2 Ornsteins and 2 Smos. From here, I summoned Solaire for a very important mission. You're doing great, buddy! Help! Help! I believe in you! I'm down! I'm down! He'll be fine. Oh, he's dead. Well, at least he served his purpose. Thanks to Solaire's great sacrifice and bravery, I was able to defeat Super Smo and turn Gwen into Nito. Or was Nito puppeteering Gwen all along? Just some food for thought. With Nito being traded out with Gwen, I had no issues beating the second phase. With the Sinister Six dealt with, I was able to finally get the Lord Soul from Gwendolyn to continue my suffering. But to ease the pain a bit, here are some nice titties to look at. After healing my mental state with some giant titties, I decided to visit Scully at his cousin's place. Hey Scully, what are you?
Oh, you gotta give him that hawk too and spit on that thing, you get me?
I think I'm in love. Oh dear lord, I'm going to the catacombs. Hawk to and spit on that demon ass. Why are we friends again? After running away from Scully before he could hawk to it on me, I found Pinwheel, and proceeded to hawk to it all over him. Unfortunately for me, the Sanctuary Guardian was down there as well, and hawk to me. Due to the small boss arena, the Sanctuary Guardian was hard to deal with because you couldn't really run from him. So I found using the shield in this situation to be amazing. I was able to negate all of his physical attacks while getting hits in, and thanks to my impenetrable shield, I was able to beat the Sanctuary Guardian. And look at that, he dropped the Crystal Halbert. Speaking of crystals, what's Seath up to? Oh, well, that's a bit of a disappointment. I was hoping for another weird cutscene. Well, either way, the duo fight is Seath and Nito. Overall, it was a bit chaotic dealing with a giant clam, a tree snake, Seath, and Nito. Well, mostly the other three. Nito really didn't do much. So I did what I normally do and just chase Seath's tail. Weirdly, this still works no matter the situation. After taking out Seath, Nito kindly let me beat him to death. Now for the real fun part. After resting at the bonfire, guess who showed back up? Since Seath's copy keeps coming back, I couldn't warp out. So I was forced to walk out, which funny enough worked out because I ended up finding the large ember. After defeating Nito and Seath, I found the Obsidian Greatsword for sale and immediately purchased it. The great thing about the Obsidian Greatsword is its weapon art is like Fire Tempest, excellent for taking on multiple enemies, which had me wanting to take on Nito, but it took me a while because I kept getting bullied in the Tomb of Giants. After countless swirlies and wedgies, I finally made it to Nito's boss room. With that lovely cutscene done with, I start spamming away the Obsidian Greatsword's R2 attack, which isn't the smartest because it dramatically lowers durability. So after realizing my mistake, I kill the bell gargoyles as fast as I can and made a quick escape since the copy doesn't count as the boss due to the mods not working properly. Is this me chickening out? Yes it is. So from here I head to the Demon Fire Sage and Priscilla? Oh, it can't be too bad, and I'm dead. First round, I was a bit caught off guard, but this time I made sure to not trigger Priscilla and just fight each boss individually, which made the fight a lot easier. Then there was the Centipede Demon, who apparently couldn't wait for me to walk into the boss room and forced me in to watch this cutscene, against my will. So I will do the same to you. Well, alright, that's done with. Time to fight the Centipede. Where the fuck did he go? Apparently the Centipede Demon clipped through the floor, so all I had to deal with was the Capra Demon, and it wasn't much of a fight. After that weird but easy win, I ran into a problem. I couldn't cross the lava because I didn't have the orange charred ring. So I decided to check out the DLC area since I had found the pendant earlier in the run, and once again regretted my life decisions. Not only is it a Gwyn and a Sanctuary Guardian, it's Gwyn and 3 Sanctuary Guardians, which they had no issues with dispatching me and warping me to Ulusel Township. That's definitely a bug. Where I died again shortly after to be warped to Ulusel Township. That's definitely not Ulusel Township, but while I'm down here, let's check on Manus. Oh, look at that, it's Nito. Actually quite fitting if you think about it. Once again, another bug occurred in this fight, where 2 puppy Sifs were out and about getting smacked around, which helped with distracting Manus so I could kill Nito, but Manus killed me shortly afterwards and sent me back to the Sanctuary Gardens. These mods really do not play well with each other. After those series of unfortunate events, I find the key to the seal in the Tomb of Giants, which means I can take on the 4 kings. So I make my way to the Abyss, and oh dear god, all the 4 kings are out at once. Well, good thing I found the orange charred ring right before this. So I rush over to the Bed of Chaos and find a bell gargoyle that I convinced to walk off a ledge to his death, which felt oddly satisfying. I always wanted this to happen to him in his own boss room. After that quick victory, I decided it was time to break out the big guns. So I went to the Crestfallen Merchant and bought Havel's chest piece and the stone helmet. From here, I farmed the Spear Silver Knights for a Giant's Halbert. With this new combo, I knew I could take down the 4 kings and whatever that was with them. Oh, okay, they're broken. I'll take it. Come to find out, when I was quitting out to unfreeze some of the enemies earlier, it was also unfreezing the 4 kings. So with the 4 kings out of the way, all I had to deal with was some Sanctuary Guardians and some Golden Gargoyles. Luckily for me, I only had to 1v1 them. The only downside to this whole thing was that they dropped Priscilla's dagger. By this point, I still hadn't found the Detsky or the Peculiar Doll, and was not in the mood to go looking for them. But chat wanted to see what their fights were going to be, so we decided to just warp myself there instead of going on a wild goose chase. For the Gaping Dragon, he was paired with the Fire Sage, which was a bit of a headache, but thanks to the bleed buildup on Priscilla's dagger, I was easily able to defeat him. The Gaping Dragon, on the other hand, took a lot of swings to get the job done. Did I have to kill him? No. But did I want to? Yeah. For the Priscilla fight, she ended up being Quelaag. Now, this is a threesome I can get behind. Copy Priscilla couldn't wait, so me and her got started while Quelaag just watched in the corner. After satisfying Priscilla, Chad and I rewarded ourselves with, well, you know. After that viewing, I of course satisfied Quelaag for her reward. With my 7 minutes in heaven over with, it was time for my 60 minutes of hell. Okay, it didn't take that long to beat the 3 Sanctuary Guardians and Gwen, but it felt like it. For this fight, I just simply face tanked the whole thing. It got close a few times to me dying on my victory attempt, but lucky for me, panic parrying paid off. But hell wasn't done with me yet because I ended up picking up the dagger shortly after this. On the bright side, I also found Sunlight Blade, which is going to help a lot since the next boss is Artorias, or I guess in this case, Gartorius? I didn't win the first round, but I did have fun time seeing how many times I could dodge their attacks without getting hit. The second round, I actually brought Sunlight Miracle this time, which helped with melting the Bell Gargoyle in a couple of hits. Now, I didn't have to fight Artorias at this point with a plus 10 dagger, but I kinda wanted to, and it only took 8 minutes and 33 seconds. I honestly thought it would have taken longer, but with Gartorius defeated, it was time to see what Calamite had to offer. So, the boss for this one is Manus, and Calamite is stuck. It shouldn't be too bad with daggers only, and I'm dead. Not going to lie, I got cocky, so that was on me. The second round, of course, was much better. I still played around a bit, but I was easily able to take them out in a 1v1 situation with the dagger. Only took 14 minutes for both, and people think daggers are bad. So all that was left was Gwen, and it was at this moment I knew I fucked up. I will proceed once more to panic. So after that mental breakdown, I said fuck this shit and went to the giant blacksmith and made me Smo's hammer and went right back in. It didn't help. The only real strategy I could find was just beelining it straight for Calamite and DPSing him down as fast as I could, which did work in the end, but it definitely took a few tries before I finally pulled it off. After that, I just parried Gwen into oblivion to finally end this hellish nightmare once and for all. And thank you God, it's finally over. So, can you beat Dark Souls randomized with double the enemies? Yes, but you shouldn't. So I normally save the lighting of the bonfire ending for when I fail a run, and I technically did beat this run, but it just didn't feel right. So I decided to go with this ending instead. With all that said, I want to thank everyone who came out and supported me during the stream. I definitely needed all the support I could get on this one. And I especially want to thank my channel supporters. Not only does this support help me with trying to make better videos, but it also helps me turn away sponsorships. I understand it's how a lot of channels make their living, but I personally cannot bring myself to sell something or recommend something to someone that I myself have no interest in. And it's thanks to my channel members that I can do that. The only way that I can show my thanks is by showing their names in the videos and doing my best to make the best videos I can. And also trying ridiculously hard challenges that make me suffer and laugh and fill you with laughter and entertainment. With that long-winded speech over with, thank you all for watching. It truly means a lot to me. Until next time, take care.